Build a project. How to learn programming quickly as a beginner. As a beginner, one of the most pressing questions is, how can I learn fast? I've been in your shoes, and every time someone gave me the advice to build a project, I would think, where do I even start? That thought would often end up buried and forgotten over time. I hope what I share with you now will help you seriously consider this approach. The reason experienced developers recommend building projects is because practice makes perfect. But it's not just about practice. They want you to uncover certain truths for yourself. The skill of problem solving and the universal principles that apply across all programming languages and projects. I learned programming this way myself. While I attended college and attended lectures, I often found myself thinking, yes, I understand the theory, but how does this apply in practice? How does it fit into the bigger picture, like a cog in a software system? In other words, books alone didn't make sense to me. I needed to see the concepts in action. So, I began working on a project with friends. I was fortunate to collaborate with a senior student in his 4th year while I was in my 2nd year, which gave me a significant advantage. However, it wasn't until I completed my 3rd full project, one I created entirely on my own, that I had a real breakthrough. That's when I truly understood the secrets of programming. As a beginner, you're in a great position to absorb this advice early. Here's the key. The essence of software development is optimization and security. Over time, you'll realize that coding and building features are straightforward, much like assembling with Legos. But the real challenge lies in optimizing performance. Understanding how your code runs, how it compiles, visualizing it like streams of water, and ensuring it flows efficiently without leaks. This skill only comes from hands-on experience and critical thinking. Choosing your first project. Instead of starting with something simple like a to-do app, I'd recommend working on a more complex project, such as a music distribution platform. This will expose you to handling large files, client-side processes, e.g. tracking listening time, managing chats, likes, downloads, file compression, and server management. Such a project will teach you the intricate complexities of both client-side and server-side programming. Programming language recommendations. If you're an entrepreneur focused on building something from scratch, I suggest sticking with the pure versions of languages like JavaScript and PHP, i.e. the core language without relying on frameworks or libraries. If you're aiming for a job in the industry, you'll want to gain proficiency in frameworks. Start with something modern like Dino.js instead of Node.js, as Dino is currently gaining traction. Frameworks, a word of caution. Frameworks might seem like a quick and easy solution, but they have a major drawback. They don't last long. If you rely too heavily on frameworks, you'll constantly feel like you're chasing the latest trend, which can make you feel like a perpetual junior developer. As one developer on YouTube wisely asked, what concepts and frameworks can be considered universal knowledge? He pointed out that many concepts, like routing or states, aren't universal across frameworks. My advice is to start with the core languages, the vanillas, first. Once you have a strong foundation, use frameworks as tools to simplify your work rather than tools to build your work around. Working smart versus working hard. In the industry, you'll often hear phrases like, work smart, not hard. Many people interpret this as relying heavily on frameworks, but that's a misrepresentation. The true meaning is, work 10 hours to create a program that automates a task that would take 10 minutes to do manually every day. Similarly, people often say, don't reinvent the wheel. While that advice has its place, ask yourself, what do I want to create? A groundbreaking new technique that sets me apart, or just another project like the thousands of others using the same tools and following the same path? Final thoughts. By focusing on building meaningful projects, starting with core languages, and learning to optimize performance, you'll develop the skills and mindset necessary to succeed in programming. Frameworks and shortcuts have their place, but a solid foundation will set you apart and allow you to grow beyond trends.